head to Atlanta, and then I'll probably after this I head to my mom's house. I gotta pick up a bunch of mail. Which personally, I hate going through Georgia. I still don't fuck with Georgia, even though the weather's nice. Every time I head down south, I just get this vibe of wanting to shoot a motherfucker in the face. Like, you know, my girlfriend calls me Russ from fucking True Detective. So it's like, I kind of don't give a fuck about life. I think the only thing that, and I think that kind of goes hand in hand with what I want to talk about. Alright? I see a lot of women, a lot of times on the internet, you know what I'm saying, get pissed off at dudes. I personally think women envy men for certain shit. You know what I mean? Because basically it's like society has made it cool for us to not give a fuck. And quite honestly, we don't even give a fuck about that. Like, most guys in general do not give a fuck about anything. Like, I mean, well, I think I'm exaggerating. I'm really just speaking off the top of my head here. Like, being a man is not as sweet as it looks to the, I guess, from the woman eye. Because, you know, you talk to a woman and you would hear from their perspective that men can do this and men don't have to care and men don't have to do this. It's not that we don't have to care, it's that we choose to not give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? Me, in my personal opinion, I really give a fuck about life. Like, you know, I care about life. And you know, I didn't realize I was a pessimist until my girlfriend told me. She's like, you're a pessimist. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Every time we go do something, you think that something bad's gonna happen. You think that this is gonna be happening. And I never took it as in being a pessimist. I always took it as in, like, if we go to a club, right, and there's a potential to get shot, I think of the way of the exit, or let's not fuck with it because this can happen. Like, because men live in a world of consequence. Like, a woman, for example, right? Being a man is not really a sweet thing to do as much as people make it out to be. Because here's the thing. As angry as I get about stuff, as much as I feel like beating a motherfucker ass whenever I do get frustrated about something, I can't necessarily do that and not get a charge. Like, I think the same thing applies to women, but I think the laws personally are softer on women. Like, for instance, when I get pissed off with a woman, you know what I'm saying, in a hypothetical situation, I can't just choke a chick like I want to. Like, I think about it every damn day. I strangle someone in my head every damn day, you know what I'm saying? But I can't necessarily act that out, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm going straight to the jail, you know what I'm saying? As a man, motherfuckers really don't give a fuck about you. Like, life gives a fuck about women and children. Men don't get no sympathy. Like, they don't love us. Like, I think life is designed, like, I think men are supposed to go through shit, and that's where we find our strength at. Like, most things not necessarily don't bother me because I done been through so much nonsense. But honestly, I don't really give a fuck about what happens. Like, if it's not nothing major, if it ain't something that really bothers me necessarily, I barely even think twice about it. Like, okay, whatever. Like, I barely put energy into eating. Like, I just do. You know what I mean? But this man shit ain't sweet, man. Like, you gotta make money for other people. You know what I'm saying? You gotta watch your back behind motherfuckers, especially from where I'm from. I'm from Southeast Georgia, bro. Like, the type of shit I know and the people that I used to associate with, everybody got guns like a super soldier. So it's almost like you have to have a gun, even though you don't want to own a gun, because everybody else has a gun. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't think women are out here shooting people like that. Like, let's see, what else? I can't necessarily express my emotions like that and I've tried to do it several times on several occasions with several people. And most motherfuckers, whenever I start talking about the things that bother me, really don't give a fuck about it. Like, a woman can sit down and talk to a motherfucker on a general level, and people will probably try to take her feelings in. Like, there's sympathy for women. As a man, you don't get no sympathy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Me and my homeboy talk to each other all the time because we both understand the shit that we both go through when it comes to just life and the shit that bothers us in general. Like, he get irritated about some shit, he call me. His homeboy get irritated about some shit, he call him. You know what I'm saying? I call my cousin sometimes. Me and him talk. Like, you know what I'm saying? His wife done took him through all type of shit behind the mess that he done, you know, got himself into. But, you know, ain't nobody really considerate of us like that. Like, it's like life is kind of designed to where it's like, listen, you're a man, just take it on the chin. Like, you can handle it. Like, that's how life is, you know, mostly treats us. It's like, well, listen, you're a dude, you'll be all right. Like, This is a man's world. You be alright, walk it off. Like, I have emotions. It's just, it's a side I choose to not show a lot, because it's almost like I don't feel like I can show it in earnest, where it's like I can sit there and talk to somebody about what I feel and the things that bother me. You know what I mean? And they can really take it in and be like, well, listen, I can kind of see how you feel, and, you know, hey, you might be wrong about this, and, you know, I can take constructive criticism. I have no problem with that. But when a motherfucker just blatantly don't give a fuck about what you're talking about, it's like, you know what, I'm not gonna say anything, because you don't, and you don't really give a fuck about me, in a way. But I'm so used to that, like, that's not even a deal breaker for me, because I'm so used to people not giving a fuck, you know what I'm saying, that it makes me not give a fucking return, to the point where it's like, well, whatever, I don't care. Like I'm so desensitized with life, like, that's almost like, I damn near don't care if I get killed. Like, in a way, I care, but I kind of don't care. Like, you know, it has put me in this place in my life where I don't really care to show kindness. Like I am a nice person. Like, I know how to make conversation and not be rude. But on a general day-to-day, I don't give a fuck about being nice to people, because no one gives a fuck about me. So why should I give a fuck about anybody else? Like, you know, I'm generally nice to people that are nice to me. I really am a nice person. I want to be a nice person. But life is not actually structured like that for a dude. Like, you can sit there and be nice to somebody or talk to somebody and be open-minded about the things that bother you and talk, you know, other stuff. And it's like, you know, hey, you're a dude, you gotta just handle that shit. You know what I'm saying? And most women can almost call you soft for having emotions. Like, I would be more emotional if I knew I could open up and share my emotions without getting ridiculed. You know what I'm saying? Like, and women kind of look at it like, well, why don't men talk and share feelings? And because even when a motherfucker shares feelings, it's like you use it against them. And it's like, nah, I ain't gonna talk, I ain't got nothing to say. You know what I'm saying? And it ain't like, it's like, oh, okay, I'm so sad that, you know, I can't share my emotions with you, I can't talk to you about it, you know what I'm saying? It's like, as a dude, you just learn to just take that shit on the chin, you know what I'm saying? Because life ain't gonna give you no breaks as a man, you know what I mean? Like, I go out of a job, I'd be lucky to get unemployment, nigga. You gotta figure that shit the fuck out. Like, and I think, in a way, it's almost necessarily for a man's growth to go through some shit. Because it's like, you don't get no strength from always taking the easy route, you know what I'm saying? Like, I choose to take the harder route, or the route that's fucking cars, man. Always want to swerve in front of the truck. I take the harder route for a reason sometimes, because it's the more fulfilling route. Like, nothing, you don't get nothing handed to you. Like, you know, generally when a man meets a woman is not gonna give no dude no money. But dudes will sit there and give women money all damn day, try to sway them into some shit, or try to, you know, sleep with them and all this other shit. Like, I don't really hear too many women dishing out money to sleep with men. You know what I mean? But this man shit, man, it's not sweet, bro. Like, it's not nice. This shit is not a nice life. Like, motherfuckers don't give a fuck about Father's Day. Father's Day is basically Mother's Day part 2. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't care to celebrate Father's Day. Me personally, I used to. But I'm at a place now where I can give a fuck about that shit either. You know what I'm saying? Because life is that, as a man, you get so much shit taken from you in life, you become numb to it after a while. It's like, well, my car blew up, so fuck it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you become detached from shit. Like, the more shit you go through, the less you feel. Like, and then a woman will come to you crying about some shit, and you looking at her like, bitch, get the fuck over it. Well, why don't you fucking care? And why don't you this? Listen, man, I've had to live through it without it. Like, I don't care about seeing family. I don't care about seeing friends sometimes. Like, well, I mean, we don't never hang out with you. And your point being what? Deal with a nigga, like, and I'm not trying to say that to be a dick, but I'm just saying, like, life takes you through so much shit as a man. It's like it desensitizes you. Like, you ever watch so much porn to the point where the shit don't turn you on no more? You know what I mean? That's how life does a man. Like, you take so much shit from life and people, and having to walk away and be the bigger person, and, you know, try not to go to jail or try not to get caught up with the streets and all this other bullshit. And it's like, it just seems like it's never enough, and life just keeps coming, bro. Like, there is no break for a dude. Like, you gotta just hack that shit. Like, your family sick and the rent need to be paid. Like, I remember a situation, right? And I'll tell you this a long time ago. I might have been like 27, maybe 28, right? See, how old is my niece? My niece is about 5. So my niece might have been, I think my sister was pregnant. And my mom only gets paid once a month. This was around Christmas. I can't remember what the year was, but it's been a couple years, right? So I had this old box Chevy in the backyard, you know what I'm took my motherfucker ended up stealing my car. I ended up selling it, trying to sell it to him for $800. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, I was trying to make some money for everybody in the situation involved at the time. You know what I'm saying? And I had to take that $400 I got off that box Chevy and split it 6 different ways. Because my mom wasn't making no money. My sister was pregnant, so she lived with my mom. You know what I'm saying? So she wasn't working. My dad didn't give a fuck at the time for whatever reason. You know what I'm saying? And my baby mama and my kids needed food. So I had to split that $400 like 6 different ways for everybody. And I had to come up with a way, you know what I'm saying, to make more money. Like, there have been times when I've had to sleep out of a car to make sure food was on the table. You know what I'm saying? I've had to do some real dumb shit. Like, when my mom used to be always like, well, listen, I don't want you sleeping in that car to drive for Uber and sleeping in the car to drive for Lyft. And I used to look at my mom like, you gonna hand me the money? Then don't tell me how to get it. Like, it almost makes me desensitized toward my own mother. Like, in a way, I love my mom, I really do. But at the same time, my mama's not no man. So it's like, it's hard for me to listen to some of the shit she says. Like, it's like, I am nice to her and I love her to death. And I really do care and I have that kindness for her in my heart. But when she gets to talking about, you know, the things that she think I should do, I'm like, well, Mom, you're not no man. You're not out here like that. You're not the one out here driving this truck. You don't need to, don't tell me nothing about how to get it. Like, I gotta figure this shit out. Like, ain't no way, as a man, look, there ain't no damn support for a man out here. Like, a dude gotta get it and figure this shit out, like, by any means, by hook or by crook. Like, you might have to rob a nigga. I've been faced with shit like that before. I've never done it, but then the thought sure crossed my mind. I was like, man, I don't like holding no pistol. I don't want to sell no drugs. I don't want to be out in the street. But there have been times where I've been faced with the consequence of having to do it to make sure everything else straight. Like, they ain't gonna, like, you know, life is not gonna give no man no answer. And as a woman, sometimes you can sit there and lean on a man, which you're supposed to be able to. You know what I'm saying? And ask him, and he's supposed to figure it out. Like, as a man, you gotta tell your family shit gonna be okay when you don't know for sure if it is or isn't. And you gotta figure that shit out. All I'm saying is think about the sacrifices that a nigga trying to make when he really trying to do right by you and trying to make a good life and, you know, put food on the table. You know what I'm saying? Because if a nigga going through all this bullshit in hell, you know what I'm saying? Like, I be catching hell in this truck some days, man. Like, shit, the equipment don't want to work. I'm sweating like a motherfucker. I gotta fucking check these 40,000 pound trailers up, you know what I'm saying? So I just, you know, a nigga would like some love, but at the same time, if I don't get it, it's like, shit, who gives a fuck? So that just be things I be thinking about, man, when I be out here.